You know we're worth it. For quality work and speedy results, choose Paimon and the Traveler.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Actually, we do in fact have a rather lucrative.
Don't worry about that.
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties.
That does sound like a tricky situation.
That's right. There are only a few days left until the performance.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring a musical.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? Paimon approves. Let's go. Hello there. Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two!
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals.
Ah, I see. It's okay. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience. Never mind. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell. One last show. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. The show just won't be the same without her.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. What if we sponsored the show?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... That's how... She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her? You're...
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon...
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. Well, yes, but... Fair enough. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Thank you for your help.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Woo! When did you get here?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. It is my duty to support
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, now that we... that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Ah! Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time.
Ah, there it is. You don't...
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the Traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help!
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so... specific? Ah, I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine. But given the present circumstances...
How come? It's
True, but although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. Of course, that can't be undone now, but at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, if I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships, since I'm just an ordinary person now. They'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I drew a line in the sand without thinking about every possible grain on the other side.
Well, is there anything else we can do?
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now.
Toodaloo to you too.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
There'll be an extra. Exactly. But none of them believe. I'll think about it.
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now?
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little. So, you see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it?
Yes, I'm completely confident. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home.
You're right.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. All right, I'm coming.
Oh, Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you...
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position, and all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as Lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe.
We all want to believe that, but Some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. But still...
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. People loved our performances back then.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly.
Well, good thing I followed the Traveler here. I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epicles is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. What about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge... All right, follow me.
Huh? Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction.
You bet! That was
You helped bring.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying, The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form. Despite the protests of her family, she longed to live just like any other human. And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since.
Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises.
Oh, stop. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson? Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So allons-y. To Poisson!
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
Alright. Forget that for now.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script.
Okay then.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, and if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. But for now, at least.
It's okay. These things take time, which brings me to why I'm here. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that it's not a perfect solution, but...
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. I'd be overjoyed if yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
What do you mean by that? You expected me to just keep running and hiding from my responsibility forever?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, they thought their god would protect them. And all the while, but then the floodwaters finally came.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You're only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to everyone rose to their responsibilities. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Reward? I guess so. Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same. I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods.
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness.
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. I was a lost child too when she found me. The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid. Plants and the little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it. In the end, They discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love. One that extended to all of humanity.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death. Both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen?
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me, because... Well, speaking of the play being
What?
It's time to be upfront with you all. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come.
Paula.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aureli.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Villemont once and for all. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Villemont.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
Ugh, as if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. Wait, why are you all looking at me?
We're just curious, that's all.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium.
Precisely. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
Hey, lay off, all right? My bluff is hanging from a thread here. I'm sorry. I got carried away.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake. I see everything.
No, my sword! Our bond is strong! Body and mind. Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us.
Vilma, unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. The Little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is, as you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. The drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink paddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe, but things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything. Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered! And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show!
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. Well, I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back in my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell what she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that if she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did. And
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed.
What you said,
I'm truly sorry.
It's all right.
So, the ending.
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and...
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application.
So, This is all O'Reilly left behind.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches, too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vachey's guilt.
Vachey took so many lives.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. Her final words are... I'll let you read them.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. Let's go.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you...
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions love, hate, regret, and hope just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina.
Then, let's not delay things any longer.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that.
All right. I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have no problem with it then. I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette. Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon.
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and...
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again, nor do I think it is any great shame. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I must admit, though, I'm a little envious.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales.
Thanks, Nervalek.
You are very welcome.
Good news, everyone. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur we've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity. A touching story. Now, let's work together.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation?
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far.
It's amazing. Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all,
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, O little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. If only...
what should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage.
Why? Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds?
They've been getting less and less effective over time.
What? I thought they cure it.
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry.
You...
Miss Furina?
Say no more. If you're Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done.
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From...
Thank you, Miss Furina.
Never mind. What's done is done. No one likes regrets. Myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart, despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
here yet?
Let's get here!
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing?
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, I've got no idea what happened there either. I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From
How did the performance go?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage!
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end.
No, don't worry about it. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance.
Well, I've had bad luck ever since I was born.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we?
Oh, don't you start.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. Maybe Nervilette was right. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, but from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.